Hello and welcome back to another review on this channel, the second one I've done. Hope you enjoyed the last one about Funland. This one is going to be a lot more positive because a lot more great things happened on my visit on the 23rd of July to Alton Towers. As previously stated, I have this review coming up and a Drayton Manor one shortly, so I hope you enjoy these. If you do, leave a like and comment below what parks I should visit, any recommendations and stuff like that. And please subscribe if you can, if you haven't already, because I'm trying my best. I want to get 100 subscribers, preferably, by the end of the summer, if not more. I just want to keep pushing, almost at 1,000 on my Instagram, so thank you all guys. And yes, Alton Towers, we arrived, we had a few traffic delays. We arrived at around 9-10 a.m. Got into the car park. Good, because the monorail is not currently running due to Covid-19 restrictions. They park you right at the end by Nemesis and Galactica, so that's good. So it's a shorter distance walk. It took us about 10 minutes to walk. I'm quite fast. Me and my dad, who visited that day, quite fast paced, so we got there in about 10 minutes. So if you need to work out times, I'd say about 10 to 15 I'd give you to walk down to there. If you're getting there about 9 a.m. So obviously there wasn't many people walking at that time. We arrived at the door about sorry, not the door, because that's not how it is at the minute. We arrived at the first checkpoint at about 20 past, just down by the very end of the express car park, where they told us to go to the tent number 4 we got told to, where they checked our temperature, did quite a thorough bag search, obviously after issues in previous weeks. Didn't get spot checked, and showed our ticket, our Merlin Pass pre-book ticket, went straight in. That whole process was about a minute. There was no queues. Admittedly, that's not the case later, but arriving at about 9:15, 9:20, you're not going to be queuing. You're going to go straight in. It was all very well managed. Perfection. 2 meters apart all the time. Temperature check, bag search. It was just all rapid. What can I just say? Massive round of applause at the park on that. It was incredibly well thought out, well sorted, great. That's all I can say about that. So it's about just past 20 past 9. Walked down to Wickerman, where they were queuing in the extension queue line, when not in the cattle pen through the turnaround, but just in that extension bit off to the right. Then they were feeding out onto the regular extended queue line before the park opens, normally for ERT. Now we went into that. Just up there, we're about 30 meters from the entrance. And I was thinking, oh, is this quite a busy wait with it being in the extension as well? So we were quite far back. So we got in the queue, and we weren't even out of that extension when they opened the queue line up at 9:35, and they opened the ride indeed at 9:35, which was impressive. So get there early if you want to get some early rides in. We got there, we were just outside that cattle pen section. I was thinking, is this going to be an hour? Because obviously it's very different at the current time. Is it an hour? Is it 90 minutes? Is it 30 minutes? And indeed, it was around 30 minutes. And that was just outside the cattle pen, just back past the entrance. We were just inside the extension section, which was very impressive. So if they're queuing from the end of the cattle pen, I'd say it's about 25 minutes. We got on that. Great ride on Wickerman. Obviously the face mask. They do move around because it's running quite rough this year, unfortunately. Hope they fix those issues. I have a snood mask. I don't have the regular fabric mask, so they stay on my face better, especially with glasses on and lights of Wickerman. But yeah, it ran around with the nose a bit. You have to be careful, make sure it's in the correct position. Try your best to hold it up if it's slipping. Obviously, if it's a warm day and you've got like a sweaty nose, as bad as it seems, it's going to be easier to fall off. So yeah, it's a great ride on Wickerman, even though it was running a little rough. Weren't my best ride on it at all. I was wondering, is it going to slip down in my rankings? Potentially. So we went off, walked up to 13, got on a nice 5-minute wait for that. Had the 6 dummies in the back. I've named Bob, Jeff, Carl, Dave. I don't give them names. We just make them up when we're there. We just say, oh, there's the 6 dummies. We've got a really good front row. The trim really affects on the front row. On the first drop, really affects the front row. You get such a lurch back in your seat as you get stopped by it. Great ride though. Front row, straight into Rita. Now, we queued about 15 minutes for this, 10-15 minutes. We luckily, because obviously there's no front row currently, there's no front row queue for Nemesis, Rita, any row. You can't pick your row. They just tell you, you go here, Bob's your uncle, basically, that's where you are. No saying, oh, can I go back row, front row, blah blah blah. We did this, we queued for about 10-15 minutes, got up to there, bag on the shop. Obviously in the queue lines, can I just say, everyone was perfect. I've heard some dodgy reviews from places. Everybody stuck to their chevrons all the time. And if they weren't stuck to the chevrons, it's because the chevrons were too far apart, saying there was 6 or 7 meters. So they just came in. And that's completely understandable. They're still 2 meters away. Great by the general public as well. Just phenomenal. Couldn't fault them at all. We got on, lucky front row. My best ever ride on Rita, securing its spot at number 5 at Towers for me. Loads of people hate on it. I find it quite smooth, intense, enjoyable. So incredible on that front row. A bit like Stealth, front row on a launch coaster is perfection. We came up out of that. Oh, again, really well social distance. Made sure everyone came off 2 meters apart. And then we headed round across the park to Katanga Canyon and Jewel in Gloomy Wood. Now, Katanga Canyon hadn't opened yet, or it had. The rapids hadn't opened yet because they opened at 11, but they were on a slight technical delay. And the runaway mine train was currently on a 40-minute wait. So we decided to move on, do Jewel, as it was all queuing back to the forest, but it was still only around a 5-minute wait. Really well in there. Have to wear your face mask in Jewel as well. Same with 13, Rita and Wickerman. And many others that I'll state when I go through all the attractions we visited. We did Jewel, phenomenal ride again. It's still not to the standard it used to be, but they're getting there slowly but surely. I think in a couple of years it'll be great again. They've removed a lot of targets as of Tomb Blaster, it seems, at Chasing World of Adventures, which makes me think, are they going to maybe change it back into a ghost train someday? I'm not too sure, or is it just while they're doing these renovation works? So after the great ride on Jewel, we went up, did Galactica on a 50-minute queue, which wasn't great. Very, very poor operations on Galactica. But it is understandable, with all the Covid-19 restrictions in place. Obviously, you can only have one group per row. Me and my dad had our own row on Galactica with nobody else, even though there was 2 behind us. It's obviously half the capacity there. Great ride on Galactica, still running quite well. Not my favourite at Towers. I'm not a big flying coaster fan. Went on to Nemesis. It was advertised as 65-minute queue. I really didn't think about I was thinking maybe not going on it because I couldn't be bothered to wait 65. Went up and queued 15 minutes. At the current time, do not believe all of the queue times. Some are correct, some are not. We'll learn from that. We were up in the extension, but it was a 15-minute wait. Straight on. Best ride I've ever had on the coaster, and it's moved up in my rankings to number 3. Yes, I was never a big Nemesis fan, but now it's my third favourite coaster. It's my 3rd favourite coaster, ahead of Oblivion. So yes, we did that, came off, headed down into Katanga Canyon to ride the Rapids on a 50-minute queue and Runaway Mine Train on 20-minute queue. Runaway Mine Train, you do need a mask on the rides, and it's understandable. But it was a good ride, as always. I'm just very tired today. Yeah, it was running well. I know Kaz or Coaster Crocodile, massive fan of this attraction. I'm not a great fan, I'm not going to lie. It's a decent family coaster, nothing else. Now, after this, we headed down to Tower Trading to check out some of the merchandise, possibly get an IMScore CD, which obviously was very hard to come by at the time due to its popularity. We got to Towers Trading. I asked the person on the till when I was buying my Jewel pin badge, which I shall quickly grab. Got this brand new pin on Thursday. It's really quite a nice pin. It's got like the target. It's got a gravestone. It looks really good. So yeah, now I've got to put the pin back on the wall, make sure it's in the correct position. We went there, and the cashier told us, we've told loads of people to go to CBeebies, as obviously it's the least popular. You're not going to get many adults going to CBeebies and looking for a CD. Now at this point, I was like, oh, that's a shame. I'm not going to get one today, am I? So we went over CVs. We were like, hang on, what's this? And there was one on its own on the counter. And the woman in front of us, it was so funny. The woman in front of us picked it up and was like, oh, what's this? I might buy this. Luckily, she put it down. I mean, it was a shame, but it was just, I was so glad. So I have the I'm Score CD. I just realised it's just above me here. I may do a review. If you want a review, comment. I will happily do a review. Honestly, I love this. There's some of the track list. Obviously, it's all backwards for you guys. But it's such a great CD. If you haven't already, get it. I'm Score legends in the community, doing absolutely amazing things. I'll put it back down here. So I got my soundtrack from CBeebies. So all those going to the park, there is very, very limited stock. It looks like they can have like 6 in each shop per day. It's not a lot at all. And they've got these tiny little CD stands that don't look like they'll seat more than 5. And when I got mine, that was CBeebies out for the week, and it was only Thursday. So yes, I don't know how it works with their stocking, but it weren't. Obviously, they haven't got as much as they expected, I guess, to sell. It's very popular. Just that, we went and did Spinball Whizzer, which is running 1 household per train. You don't have to wear a mask, I believe, on this attraction, but what was great to see was loads of people were wearing it. And I believe on a lot of rides where the staff are up close to you, you should be, because on the basis of the staff, they're working all the time, checking everybody's bar. They're putting themselves on the front line in the faces of hundreds of thousands, not hundreds of thousands, hundreds or thousands of people per day. And I feel like, I mean, I want to put a mask on just to keep them safer, make sure they're well. So yes, great ride in Spinball Whizzer, running really fast, really well. Still not my favourite, still my 6th out of 7 the coasters I've ridden there, I believe. I think there's 7 I've ridden, 8 I've ridden, yeah, 8 I've ridden now, I believe. I still need to ride Alton Towers, which was closed, unfortunately. But then we headed around to Oblivion, running well, as always. Short 15-minute wait. It was around 30-40 minutes for Spinball Whizzer. It was running well, running fast, on your mask, because you have to wear one. It proper pulls on that side of your face. But obviously with the snooze mask, it felt completely fine. Smiler, I didn't wait for because it was on an 80-minute queue. I normally do single rider, so I'm the only one in my party that rides it. But I know I wasn't in the mood at 4 o'clock, or just before 4 o'clock. We would have struggled to get Wicker Man in again. So after, we went up, did the Sky Ride across, where you do have to wear your mask, even though it's one party per car. It's only one person, one household per car, and you need your mask, so make sure you take them on there. Got off at Forbidden Valley, went on Jewel again, and then headed down to Wicker Man for a final ride of the day. Waited around 40 minutes from around the same position, just behind where we rated in the morning. And I'm honest, it was the best ride I've ever had on Wicker Man in the day. Obviously, my night ride is just in a league of its own up here, but that day ride we had on Thursday, phenomenal. It was running smoother than it was in the morning. Front row bliss is the words I would use to describe it. And then went back to the car. Phenomenal day. 25 million times better than it was on the Monday at Funland. And I can just say, well done Alton Towers, well done Merlin. Phenomenal operations with the Covid-19 restrictions. But yes, I think that's all from this review. Apart from saying, get yourself down there, support the major parks, especially, not major parks, do your smaller parks, but also be careful if you're worried about Covid-19. So that's all from this video. I'll see you all soon. Goodbye.